Hello guys and girls. Today I'm going to be doing a video about Nidal Hasan, formerly known as Major Nidal Hasan, before he was dismissed from the United States Army for killing 13 people and wounding over 30 others. But before we get into the massacre, we're going to discuss a little bit about how he became what he was. As you know, or hopefully should know already, he is a Muslim and was born into a Muslim family that had immigrated from Palestine to Virginia, USA. Anyhow, what happened is, according to his uncle and younger brother, he had some trouble, a little bit of trouble when he was younger. He was a very sensitive child. He mourned the death of his parrot for about a few months. And not only that, he did not like the sight of blood, which, interestingly enough, which could explain why he chose psychology, the mental health field, over the physical one. And I just don't know, you know what I mean? How he eventually turned out to be very violent and left behind an orgy of destruction. Anyhow, I looked up these things, and what happened is I discovered that, they said, his brother said some things about him being victimized and all that jazz, but anyway, eventually, there's no indication that he was picked on for being Muslim or anything like that while in the army. But anyway, he served a total of 21 years and before launching his attack, and that means he was well over the 20-year hump. He was over the 20-year hump, which means after 20 years he could have retired and received half his base pay, which would have been equal to almost $40,000 a year, which he could have lived very comfortably without ever having to hold a job again with that kind of pension. That being said, he was obviously a true believer. He wasn't like one of these phony Christians or even Muslims who are setting up these mega churches, or in some cases mega mosques, and making a shitload of money, getting superstitious people to pay them a shitload of money for stuff, while they're just hoarding it all for themselves and building themselves big fancy houses with swimming pools and whirlpool baths and memory foam mattresses and going on expensive vacations, all that jazz. But anyway, he was a true believer. He had a pretty good thing going. I mean, he had a full retirement plan, already set up. As I said before, he'd already crossed the 20-year mark, and he could have retired on full benefits. Yet he chose to launch this attack anyway and throw all of that away. He was clearly very devoted to his cause, regardless of how sick and demented you think that cause is, or even I think it is. Anyhow, when I was researching this guy, he committed, it looks like he might have committed a court-martialable offense several times, like the time when he would liken soldiers who suicide bombers who blow themselves up to soldiers who jump on grenades to protect their brothers in arms. He also said that the U.S. should get out of Muslim lands in Iraq and Syria. Well, not Syria, we weren't in Syria at that time, and Afghanistan. But anyway, it's only a short step away from a disloyal statement, which is a court-martial offense, which the maximum penalty is dishonorable discharge, forfeiture of all pay and allowances, and 2 years of confinement. At least that's according to what the Uniform Code of Military Justice says. Anyhow, he may not have been an ideal Muslim, because he did go to strip clubs. According to some of the strippers, he was a great tipper. And not only that, he was known to drink, which is very frowned upon in Islam. And anyway, I looked at this shit, and what we find is that he's not the only terrorist who did this kind of stuff. The 9/11 hijackers were seen going to strip clubs and drinking beer as well, and they were also true believers. And do I think Fred Phelps was a true believer? Yes. You can't be that crazy and not be a true believer. I mean, he wasn't getting any real financial reward from it. He was just far too extreme to gather a mainstream following. But anyway, he got in charge. Anyway, he was promoted to major a few months before the shooting. And in the months leading up to the shooting, he got into contact with a guy named Ansar Al something. I can't remember the last name, but what I do know is that he was eventually dispatched in Yemen, I think it was, in 2011. Same year that bin Laden got wasted as well. And a few months after that, in fact. Anyhow, what happened is, it just really is, these things start affecting Nidal Hasan, and eventually he gets himself a 5.7 pistol, called that because it shoots a 5.7 round. If you want more information on that particular firearm, you can look it up. Anyhow, he quietly walks into the building, which I think he worked at, starts shooting people while yelling Allah Akbar, and, what happens is he kills a total of 13 people, 12 soldiers, 1 civilian employee, and wounds over 30 others. And from a military standpoint, that's a resounding success. He took out an entire platoon's worth of soldiers at the cost of only himself taken prisoner. In any case, he also, when he got out of the building, he shot at 2 police officers who were responding to the scene. And he shot one and the other shot him. And the police officer that shot him hit him 4 times, came and kicked the gun out of his hand and handcuffed him. Come to discover, the doctors save him, and he's left a quadriplegic for life. The court-martial happens, and he gets convicted and sentenced to death. But even after the shooting, his antics did not cease. He refused to shave, and was subsequently force-shaved. A video exists of that, by the way. And he also went on a hunger strike last year. And from that, further on, we can gather that he's an attention seeker. He wants to bring attention to himself and to his cause. He even asked for, he's done several other antics, like, asking ISIS for citizenship and crap like that, and he addresses himself as a soldier of Allah. Nidal Hasan will be on death row at the U.S. disciplinary barracks for a very long time. And because there's one guy who was sentenced to death in 1995, he's still there. The military has the death penalty, just as the federal government in many states do. However, like California, it likes to drag ass, it appears, when it comes to executing people. Now, Nidal Hasan, the prosecutor in the case said, some kind of big chest bumping out, our legal system is superior to all others kind of crap. He said, he is not giving his life, we are taking his life. It is not his gift to God, it is his debt to society. But anyway, Nidal Hasan probably doesn't give a rusty fuck what some infidel colonel thinks about him. Because he's already been dismissed from the army, he's been stripped of all his rank, and now he is now referred to as inmate, Nidal Hasan. That is his official title now, inmate. He was also dismissed from the United States Army, which for officers is the equivalent of a dishonorable discharge. Not only that, he really is devoted to this cause, and he is a true believer, as I've said before. Remember, people, a lot of the times when you get to groups like this, be it ISIS, a Christian organization like the Ku Klux Klan or the American Nazi Party or Antifa, most of the people involved are heretics. Well, not heretics, hypocrites. They're just there for the violence and all that crap and for personal gain. Then there are a few true believers, like Nidal Hasan, for example, and Fred Phelps. And these people are really dangerous. Anyway, what we have here is a lot of crap that just needs to be resolved. I mean, the military was not quick enough to stop this guy, and they need to work on that. That being said, I thank you for watching my video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you can, leave a donation. I'd really appreciate it, and everything helps. See y'all next time. Bye-bye.